still have a crowd come over here. I don't know if you noticed, Jerry. I asked, what platform are you using now for your lives? Since StreamYard started charging and I'm not making any money, I've been using YouTube for my streaming line. So, hey, Des, how are you, hon? We had a great time this weekend, or this past weekend, guys. We'll wait a few minutes. Maybe we'll get some more folks in here. It's 8 o'clock. My time, 7 o'clock out west, Midwest anyway. Hey, Havita, how are you, hon? We have I have an announcement, guys. I have an announcement. I'm gonna grab my tea. Here, I forgot it. You'll see my sign, Nana, wherever it's at, right there. Hey, hon. There's our girl, Jesus is Lord. Isn't your name Debbie, Deborah, something like that? I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. My mind is like this short, guys. Oh, yeah. Since there's a few in here, I am a great-great-grandmother. Cohen got here on the 17th, went in labor on Tuesday, and she had him early Wednesday morning. So, Barb, okay. I thought it was something like that, but you know how I am. So, anyway, I'm so excited, guys. Got to hold him twice now. You know, they scared to death. These first time mamas are always so nervous, guys. I remember all those days. Don't kiss them. Can't be picking them up. You know, they tell them everything. Can't post pictures of him, guys. Yep, can't post pictures of him. Or I'd have one up here. It would have been my introduction. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Went down to Pedals this past week. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I just put the video out. Came out sometime today. I've got another one somewhere if I can find my smaller GoPro. The GoPro 9 that I've got. It's here somewhere, but I've moved it. I think it's in my bag, but if it is, I don't know. And I was so tired when I come home from down there, guys. Because I came home. Well, I didn't even stop at the house. I went straight on over to see the grandbaby, of course. You were ridiculous when your grandbaby was born. Or when your son was born. I know. It scares you to death with that first one. By the time you have your second one, it's just, oh, pro, you don't care. Just give me some rest. When Tanya was born, you know, I had to do everything right. Got up, did those feedings perfect, you know, made sure I had those bottles heated just to the right temperature, the whole nine. Shit, with Brandy, I didn't do any of that stuff. If it was halfway warm, she got it. As far as the bottles go. Didn't worry about it. She never had an upset stomach, never had a problem with it. I was just over it by the time she was born. Of course, I breastfed, you know, for the first few months, so that wasn't a problem. Let's see. Yeah, she had some professional pictures done, and she posted them on her Facebook, but she doesn't want me to put any out here because, you know, they warn them about putting pictures out that people will look at them and come and steal your babies if they know where you are. You know, I mean, it's a terrible world we live in, guys. It really is. We've been so busy today. Pete in his eye, and I thought it would be, I would be blinded. You were crying and your husband was rolling on the floor laughing. I can imagine. Yeah, they say that the urine is sterile until it gets out here. So unless he had something bad in his eye already, he was safe. Yeah, that's what Haley was saying today, that every time they changed a diaper, he sprayed everybody. I just died laughing. I said, yep, honey. I said, you'll learn to put your burnt cloth or something across there when you're changing that diaper and cleaning his, wiping his little hiney up. Yeah, that's all things I told her. I said, when the knee wears off in a couple of months and she needs some help, or if she needs any help in the middle of the night and she can't get him quiet or something, to give us a call. They don't live that far away, probably 5 miles, guys. So, yeah, we could go over anytime. It was just so funny. And, she ain't wanting hardly nobody to hold the baby, but she had a fit for Joey to hold him. Second time he's held him. Second time I've held him. I thought it was so funny. Yeah, we're just so excited, guys. We really are. And the doctors had said, I was telling y'all last week, the doctor said she may have another week, and he was due on the 22nd. Well, he said, nope, I ain't waiting another day. So he popped on in there on the 17th. We thought it was really funny because they were thinking it was going to be around the 28th or 29th. The doctors were thinking that. Let's see. That's right. That's right. When Brandy's dad would keep her, he would cook stuff in the microwave. Well, he had this big old Bouvier. I don't know if you guys know what a Bouvier is. It's a big old curly-haired dog, real tall, big, stocky. They can get up to like 200 pounds. Well, he had this Bouvier, and he was a puppy. He was probably 3 foot high at that time and probably weighed 60 or 70 or 80 pounds. But anyway, his nose would come right up to the counter. So he'd just kind of rear up on his feet and he'd pop the microwave open when it would get done. Well, I come in one day and he had a newspaper in the floor and there was macaroni and cheese in the floor at his house. And Brandy and the dog were both eating macaroni and cheese off the darn newspaper. No plate, no nothing. I said, oh my God. And I didn't get mad is the thing. I just laughed at him. He said, well, it's going to all be in the floor anyway. All that ink from the newspaper, she needed that in her throat and down in her stomach. But you know how that goes, guys. Oh, so you know what it is, Chrissy. He was a very, very loyal dog. In fact, when Brandy was about 2 years old, my niece her dad had an above ground pool, but he had a deck built around it. And so my niece that I had custody of at the time, Jennifer, she was pushing Haley around and around the pool up on the deck on her tricycle, and Brandy was screaming because you know how little girls all scream. Well, the Bouvier, Lucky was his name, and he got so nervous and upset, he bit my niece on the back. And left teeth, it didn't break the skin, but it left the scrape marks on her back. Like he was giving her a warning, don't you hurt my baby. And, she stopped and screamed. And, of course, we looked to see if he'd hurt her because we were all standing there. We just weren't expecting it. But she was his baby. And you better not get on to her or nothing else. That's how they were so darn particular about it. It was so funny. Yeah. Didn't matter what she did. If her daddy yelled at her, he'd growl at her daddy, and he was hurting his dog. You know how that goes. It was so funny. Of course, he claimed Lucky was Brandy's dog, but Brandy, he never came to our house. Let's put it that way. You know how that goes. Well, guys, before we get started too big tonight, I wanted to have a silent moment for everybody to think about the 4 Army guys that were killed in the helicopter crash last week. The first one was Chief Warrant Officer Andrew Colley, who was 35 from Spartan, Missouri. Andrew Cross, 39 from Cinnabon, Florida. Sergeant Donovan Scott from Tacoma, Washington. And Jadalyn Good, 23 of Mount Vernon, Washington. So, they died in service for their country. So we sure have to think about that. Jerry said he was on the phone, guys, on the phone. But anyway, it's a wonderful, it's a sad day when our young people get killed in helicopter crashes. They're not even over there actually fighting. They're just doing their routine things for the military. But, that's all how things happen. But Anyway, I just thought it would be a good idea to honor them tonight and remember them. They were serving their country. Jerry says that they have had lots of rain this week, guys. Hey, Demoose, how are you? And yeah, we have not had a drop. We had a few little speckles that just left look like freckles on the ground, and the ground puffed up whenever it hit. And that was the end of that, guys. It didn't even last 5 minutes. We were so disappointed. We need it. I mean, the grass is crunching and all on the ground. Hey, Belt Loop, how are you? Gary, I guess. Let's see. And there's Demoose. Yep, but Belt Loop's carrying on. Hey, Peter. Peter made it in. He said he didn't know whether he'd be able to make it at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. We did ours last week at 7, guys. And I think that Tamara wanted me to do it at 8. She was saying 7, but I think she meant 7 her time, which is 8 my time, guys. You know, I have the real time, the Eastern time. all us folks from this side of the world, out this side of the United States, think it's the best time. So who else is in here? Let's see. But it's been a wonderful week, beautiful week out there. Had bad luck. One of our good friends, a young man, he's be 53 years old Sunday. Close friend of ours, a boy that used to work for my husband, or with my husband for years, had got sick at work and passed out, and they took him to the hospital, and he's had surgery today, had part of his intestines taken out. They don't know, we don't know any more than that, but you guys keep him in your prayers. His name is Tommy. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to talk about. Went down to Pedals this past week, had a great time, met a lot of new people that are just visitors and watchers of YouTube that were at the same motel that I was at. There were a couple other YouTubers there, but most of them went to a different motel. And the ones that I'm used to seeing and being around are stayed somewhere else, I guess. And most of them didn't come that went last year. So hopefully we'll get to see them again. And I understand they're going to have another meetup in Texas, but don't know any details about it. And I think that's going to be in March, the rendezvous coming in March. So I'm looking forward to that. Had a really good time. I hope you guys find a place that I can stay at, because I'm not going to drag my camper all the way down there again. I'll probably fly in and rent a car. So, yeah, so, yes, they're thinking it may be Crohn's disease. It was pretty bad. I mean, he's not had a bite to eat since last Wednesday night, he said. So, got sick Thursday at work, and hadn't been there about 2 hours, and they ended up getting him up, scraping him up and taking him to the hospital at work. He was sick, and then he passed out, blacked out or whatever, and they ended up taking him to the hospital, and he's been in there ever since with ice chips. Yeah, I have a few friends that have that issue too. Well, they're saying that Peter and them are going to have bad weather coming tomorrow. So you guys lock down everything, anchor down your house, or roof, your storage buildings you're living in out there, because if the wind gets up, it could be very bad. You know how it is out in that area. Yeah, but saw Des and her daughter. We had a great time. Hung out, played on their live Friday night. I was on it, left, did a few things that I had to get done, and got back on her live. So that was interesting. And then we went and had lunch, guys, the next day. Let's see. Christy said she canceled the plan she had for tomorrow. Oh, yep. Dog is terrified of storms. I understand that. My little fella, fireworks and thunder scares Casper to death. It doesn't seem to bother Rosie, but Casper gets to shaking and whining, and he just wants to be right in my lap and under me. He'd get in me, I think, if he could. He's that nervous about it. And the Kia plant, it's just right there. I mean, not far from where I live. You could walk to it probably. If you got good walking shoes, you could walk there. And I'm telling you, it's and good energy, I should say. You got the energy. I didn't know I had to walk to it, but you could walk to it. But anyway, we've been hanging out. They have the Kia plant, by the way, has a huge fireworks show every year, and it's not at 4th of July and it's not at New Year's. So you can imagine it's at their New Year's, Chinese New Year, I guess, a Korean New Year, whatever, what's equivalent to Korean New Year. Anyway. Lee Wan. Okay, I don't know how you say it. How you said that. Talking about her dog. Lawani is what I was going to say, but I wasn't sure how to pronounce that. That's why I did not even try. Hey, there's Tamara, I guess. Carol was hanging with the shadow people. Yeah, I've hung with a bunch of them, guys. Yeah, that she was shadowed out that night, wasn't she? We finally, her daughter brought us over a lamp, and it put a little bit of light on her, but she was still pretty dark. I said she was just a shadow of herself that night. And let's see. Let's see. What else has been going on? Oh yeah. Got on the interstate like a dummy, leaving Pedals, drove 50-something miles north. I needed to go south on 65. Now, am I losing my mind or what? I didn't think about it. I was just tired and ready to go home, ready to see the grandbaby. And I got on that interstate thinking, I live north of where you go on to 65 there in Montgomery. So I said, well, yeah, let's go north. I got on that thing and drove. And I said, I don't remember seeing any of this stuff. And I stopped and pulled it up. And sure enough, I had to drive 50-something miles back to where I started. Get back on the interstate. But that's the way it is. When you get tired, you really shouldn't be out there driving. I thought seriously about staying another night, but I had promised my granddaughter that I was going to come by and see the baby Saturday, so I kept my promise. Anyway, had a good time. He is the cutest little thing, guys. She says that he sleeps really good. She said he'll sleep about 3 hours at a time during the night even, and that's really good. And usually babies lose weight the first week. He gained, 4 ounces. So he's going to be a chunky little fella, and I'm glad. I like little fat babies with them little round faces and little round legs. They're so pretty to me. Let's see. When we first moved to D.C., we ended up going the wrong way and ended up in Maryland. That sounds about like me, hun. I know how that goes. Yeah, oops. I've done that before. And I did post a little video. Didn't put much out, guys. Just kind of walked through and showed them. If you're watching on a big screen or TV, you'll see it better. The only ones that I really talked to was a couple of the channels that I'm really hang out with, and that's Black's Tropical Homestead. I just love sharing Bobby. They are hilarious, and we hung out with them for quite a while, or I hung out with them for quite a while. And Cog Hill, and let's see, who was the other channel? Oh, and the little lady that raises her granddaughter. It says, what is it? Can't even think of her channel name. Dang. But anyway, she's been raising her granddaughter, I guess, since she was just a few weeks old, a few months old anyway. And she comes to a lot of meetups. They have a channel, but I cannot think of it. It is just going right over my head. But anyway, talked to her and her little granddaughter, great granddaughter, whatever she is, for a little while there. And ended up, guys, you know, it's hard for me to go anywhere without Nancy. I don't know what her actual name is. It might be Nancy. She comes, I don't think it's Nancy. She comes to all of our, or to Mid-America meetups. The first year I went, she came, her and her sister came together, and she had her grandbaby, and they were in one of those rented campers, parked right in front of where I was parked, right across from the pavilion there. So if you remember that, she had a great old big Great Dane, black Great Dane with her. That was supposedly her service animal. Let's see. Is that the channel that does? Is it We Are Gardeners? We Are something. Dang, it'll come to me in a minute. Is that the channel that does the merch for Cog Hill? Tammy was talking about them yesterday. No, not the same folks. This lady is quite old. I'd say she's in well, I'm in my late 60s, guys. I'd say she's probably in her 70s. She might not be that old, but she's real petite. I think she's probably 70. Anyway, I'll get it out here. We Are Garden Girls. Maybe that's the name of her channel. We Are Garden Girls. Seems like that might be it. But anyhow, we had a really good time. Got in the pool, hung out. There were quite a few people that were just visitors coming to Petals for the first time that wanted to see different folks. Hey, there's my friend from Sifting Soil, guys, and more. She's got a great channel, you guys, and she's hilarious from down there in Texas. Yeah, but we had a good time. Well, I was just saying, I'm going to try my best to come down to the Texas Rendezvous. I guess it's in March, planned this next year. Let's see. And if you said quite old at 50, I was about to feel ancient. Yeah, I'm in my late 60s, guys. So I can't say old. You know, we used to think if you were 40, you were old. I remember thinking my mom was real old and my grandmother was ancient. And now I realize they wasn't old at all. My mom died in her late, she was about 46 when she died. My grandmother was retirement age. She was probably 64, 65. I don't even know. It's been so many years. She died when I was a little girl in first grade, second grade. But anyway, I know it. If I thought I was going to live this long, guys, I'd have took better care of myself. I wouldn't have took quite as many of those daredevil things that I did. You know, riding motorcycles, jumping off barns, and just the crazy stuff, staying out all night partying, you know, just way too much fun. Yeah, I did all of that and more. Let's see. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I got 3 more subscribers, and I think they all come in from down there at Sifting Soil. Met one lady, she was Miss Turner, and I got to laughing at her. I was at the Pitta Shop, which is right across the street from where the motel was, guys. And I was over there, had ordered my food, and I was sitting there at the table and you know I'm dingy and I'm not real smart on this computer stuff. Well, anyway, I had a hard time getting my computer junk signed in. So I got to laugh, and she was over there and she was trying to figure out how to put it in too. And I was laughing, and I said, yeah, they don't make those things for old folks. And she cracked up and she says, I know, they didn't have all this back years ago. And I just get so tickled. Told my granddaughter, when I get to heaven, I won't hurt anymore. And she said, Nana, you won't look old anymore. Darn, I guess she thinks you're old too, hon. Yeah, I remember thinking my mom was young. But, I remember also when I was a kid, everybody had an insurance man that came around to their houses. We had an insurance man come. My mom was sitting on the porch with a pair of cut-off blue jean shorts and a halter top. And me and my brother were running around out there in the yard, probably with just a top or shirt on, no top, because I thought I had to look like him. I'd have a fit if he put a shirt on me. And I was 17 months younger than him. We did everything together until my little sister was born, guys. It was so funny. But this guy drove up. And I guess he might have been new or didn't recognize her or what. But she was sitting on the edge of the porch, barefoot with her feet slinging off. And he walked up and he said, "Is your mother at home?" And she looked at him and she says, "No, not right now." He turned around, got in his car, and left. And we were looking at her like, "Huh?" She said, "I don't have any money to pay him." I'll never forget that because we were just little bitty squirts running around, you know. I went to daycare with just a pair of shorts on too, guys. She let me go. That's how weird we were back in them days. She let me to daycare. She worked in the meal third shift, and we'd go to daycare during the early morning till 12. My brother and I did, and Daddy would send us to daycare in just a pair of shorts and tennis shoes or flip-flops or whatever. That's the way it was back then. Oh, there's Whistle Stop. Hey, Ed, how are you? Yep, things were a lot different back in them days. You know, they'd call the welfare department on us nowadays. You send your kid, your little girl, off to school like that. Oh, goodness. And there's Musgrove family. Hello. How are you? Glad to see you in here. Good to see all you new people in there. I wouldn't have thought I could work as hard as any man and determined to prove it. My back is paying for it now. Honey, I know exactly what you mean. You know, I figured if I've got to be there for 8 or 10 hours a day, I need to be making as much money as I could. So I was determined to get to that top pay, and I got there, but I'm paying for it too. And I had an old guy, Mr. Bootsake, and he told me one day, he said, "My wife killed herself in the cotton mill." And he says, "Honey, you don't need to be doing this job." He says, "You're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it." And he knowed what he was talking about. I realize that now. All that heavy lifting and stuff that I did. But that's the way it goes, you know. First your money, then your clothes, and then we all turn back to little kids again. At Lowe's, pricing stuff for your tiny house. Okay, cool, Ed. Are you going to start building one, or are you already building one, Ed? Oh, I'll have to check it out. I have not been on your channel in a while. But I'm behind on a lot of people, so don't feel bad. Pop and Peachy. Wheelie, everybody. Yep. Hey, Butt Nuggets, how are you, hon? Let's see. Refuse to give up, to take breaks. Oh, in bed with the chickens. Well, I have a hard time going to sleep, guys. When I go to sleep, I'm okay. But getting there, I just toss and turn, and my feet do that throbbing, you know, the neuropathy or whatever it is they call it. When I ain't had that, it's doggone, they're jerking. So I have the restless leg too. Hey, there's Aussie Flash 650 fix. 665. I'll get it right in a minute, doggone it. I can read it, but you know, it's a little slow up here. Oh, been working on it almost a month. 14 by 28 shed. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Ed, I hope you are doing that. Oh, it's Legends. Okay, cool. I'm streaming on Twitch. Okay, I didn't know that. Have to check out your channel. Write it down right now so I don't forget it, because, you know, like I say. All right, got it down there. Let's see. Hey, there's Jan. Hey, Simply Jan. Yeah, I talked to Jan. She said none of the bulbs that I sent did anything. Chicken scratched them all up, made them. I found a whole bunch of my bulbs scraped up, and I went ahead and got them up and put them in a bucket in the barn, and next spring I'm going to put them out so they'll start growing again, guys. It's just, That's the way it is. If you got chickens and they roaming free roam, they're going to eat it up. You can't have nice garden beds either, or flower beds, because if the chickens can get in them, they're going to scratch all the straw or mulch or whatever you've got around them out. I put a fence around my gardens, guys. That helped a lot. Got them out of there anyway, but my flower beds just look like crap now because I don't take care of them anymore. Tammy won't let the chickens run free at our house. Oh, sure, she's afraid something will get them. I thought I had one missing. Got to add them up, and they're all there. So I don't know if one of them might have been sitting on some eggs, and she just showed up to eat, because the last few days I was thinking I counted 14. I've got one that has 3 babies. They're not babies now, but, they look like they're almost as big as her, but they're not. You know how that goes. Put up electric fence. The dogs just go right through it. Woo. I know how that goes, but some dogs don't feel it, especially if they're hairy dogs. And then some of them, it will just scare them to death. Poor old Casper hit electric fence. He wouldn't even come off the deck to go in the little back where the electric fence were to potty. So he might have hiked and peed on it. I don't know what he did, but anyway. And guineas are hard to keep out of the garden. Yes, they are hard. Guineas are loud, and they're very hard to keep out. No sneaking around with them there anyway. She pretends to be paranoid when it comes to all your critters. Well, I know how that goes. I used to be a lot more worried about them than I am now. Sleep 12 hours and nothing woke me up, and my bladder shrunk. No, those days too. I'm up at least twice a night, guys, at least. Her dog Nugget even come on the slab anymore. Man, if they ever do get zapped one time, that's it. Buddy, my friend Tommy's dog, is here. And when I first got the sheep, I divided off the part of the pasture with electric fencing. And I was down there doing something, and Buddy didn't know about the electric, had not learned about the electric fencing. He come running down there, gonna see what I was doing. And when he did, he got zapped, and he screamed. You'd have thought he was a little girl. That dog screamed so loud, and ran all the way back up there and got into his daddy's truck. He wouldn't come out of the truck. And now he don't even go in the pasture. It is hilarious. Poor old Buddy thinks the world has come to an end because Tommy gives him a bath about 3 times a week. And he sleeps in the bed with his daddy, Tommy. And now Buddy sleeps in the shop up here. Poor thing on an old blanket. So he don't know what's going on. He hopes his daddy hurries up and gets out of the hospital. Goldie won't go near the fence since I increased the size of the Energizer. Yep, that has a lot to do with it. Yeah, I think Buddy ran his face through the fencing, and then he got stuck in it. When he screamed, and when he finally got out of there, he hollered, all the way back to his daddy's truck. They didn't know what was going on, and I was rolling around in the pasture laughing so much I couldn't tell them what happened. You know how that goes. And then I've never had any of the goats get in the fence, but now I had the sheep hit it a couple of times, a few of the newer ones. They didn't take but one time to learn neither. You know how that goes. Only thing about that electric fencing, guys, is if you got anything growing up around the bottoms of them, you got to have it up high enough that it's not touching it, because it'll sure ground it out. Christy said her signal keeps dropping, so the storms must be getting closer. Well, girl, I hope y'all are safe down there. Have you got your camper tied down or strapped down out there where you are? It scares me to death, these people living in campers and all that. Of course, I've been out in the middle of a tornado in my horse trailer before and didn't think nothing about it. I was just worried about getting my horse on the horse trailer, and everybody saying, "Don't worry about that damn horse. He'll look after himself. Get in your trailer." I said, "No, I got to get my horse in here." You know how that goes. Young and dumb, didn't think about it. Just didn't think about what could be happening. was out in a pontoon boat on the river one time, and a hurricane went right over the. It's not a hurricane. A tornado went right over the top of us. We were underneath the bridge, anchored off, and I bet there were 15 boats crammed in under that bridge. And it didn't suck any of us up. It did suck a few things out of people's boats, but that was it. We were real proud too. You talking? Oh. So anyway, them electric fencing will scare you to death. I've hit them a few times when I didn't realize it was electric. It zapped me. It'll make me holler like Buddy did, guys. Not quite as much, but there'll be one shrill. Oh, so sad. A long time ago, some YouTubers had piglets in electric fence with a kiddie pool. Oh, the little piglet got electrocuted. That's so sad. Yeah, you think about it. Those little pigs are so dang cute. Stepping, let's see, very nervous about stepping over electric fences. Yeah, I see Jeff stepping over his all the time, and I'm thinking, yeah. I bet that would make you nervous. Did you see the next Ozark meetup dates yet? No, I have not. I will look. Is it on that Southern Georgia, whatever it is, www, whatever? I know that obviously Jeff's pants are a little baggy or something. It would get you if right things was dabbling. Last tornado that struck nearby, I was running down the road at 1 a.m. to the neighbor's storm shelter. I hope you got in there. My former brother-in-law lived out there. He lives in Amarillo, Texas. He works for the government. And they locked the facility down, and they knew he was already in the parking lot, but they locked the door and he couldn't get in. And I mean, the tornado was coming right over where he was at. And he got in a ditch out there, and he said the ditch was full of water from the storm as it was coming through. He said he was drenched, but they would not unlock that door for him. Once they shut it, that was it. Oh, learned about electric fences when you were younger. Hunting. Oh, yeah. You know what? that would hurt, I would imagine. Jeff's tall. Yeah, he is tall, so I guess he's got longer legs to step over it with. Yeah, I'm not but 5'6", so I know what it feels like to hit them upper part of those thighs. So I can't imagine what it would feel like to guys. Of course, I'm always running around in shorts too, until I just absolutely have to put on something. I hate wearing clothes, guys. We were talking about having other families living with you. I'm so proud that I don't have to do that because, if I decide to go to the bathroom, I don't close the bathroom door. I mean, there ain't nobody here but me, and every once in a while Joey will wander through, but, he's seen me like that a million times, so that don't matter. But I can't imagine having to be dressed completely head to toe in your own home all the time. I guess I'm just too free with myself, but anyway. Oh, let's see. Okay, let's see. I'll save that and write it down because I ain't going to take time to do that now, Jan, but thank you. Thank you for sending it. Or anything negative hour. Yeah, in fact, my friend Tommy, I got so tickled. I had been gone on a ride, and he came up and brought me some signs, and it said 3 different signs, and one of them was about my bees. The other one, the name of he had on it was Carol's Closet, and it's my little shed that I'm allowed up there at the big barn. Joey has the whole side of the building. Well, I've just got like a little section that's 12 foot maybe 14 foot wide and 16 foot long. He's got the whole darn side, but that don't matter. He called it Carol's Closet. Let's see. Yeah, as much as lightning. California, Florida, and I wear shorts, and Drew frowns at me for it. Yeah, I'm the same way. Well, I'm from down here in Georgia, so it's pretty doggone hot most of the time, and we're so humid, guys. Down there at Pedals, guys, I was absolutely dripping sweat. I did not go back around the second time after I got I bought me a Japanese persimmon that I'd been looking for. Found a really nice one down there. Got to get it planted, guys. He wants him a pair of barrel overalls. Okay. Christy said that she's promised her daughter that she will get out of the camper. I know that's right. Well, just high winds, I don't know about right there where you are, but we get some pretty high winds here sometimes. And we're up on top of a hill here where I am, and I mean a big hill. Let's see. He's happy, Gary, and you know it. Let's see. Dank speech of gibberish. Don't worry, Brent. Be happy. Brent wants to know if he can come live with you, Gary. Yeah. See that happening, right? Oh, Lordy. Let's see. Found a huge old persimmon tree on the property now that I know why the deer are always there. Yeah, we have quite a few of the native persimmons in this area, but they're like, an inch around maybe, and their seeds are huge. Well, those Japanese persimmons are like a softball or whatever, or baseball anyway, the size of a baseball, and the seeds are small in them. So, and not nearly as many either. So you get a whole lot more fruit for a whole lot less work. Because we used to make persimmon jelly, and boy, that was a job, de-seeding all that stuff. Jerry says he's about to go eat dinner. Well, Jerry, I'm thankful you come in here. I won't be in here much longer anyhow, but I appreciate it. And thanks for sending folks over and reminding them about my video or my live tonight. Let's see. Bon appetit. Yes. Yep, we all got to chew some crud every once in a while, guys. But I like it. We, like I say, we've got those, and that poor little old potbelly pig that we had for so many years, Ava, I think she ate so many persimmons that she ended up getting the seed stuck in her. I think that may have been her problem instead of old age, because she was quite old, but she wasn't that old. And we sure did hate finding her deceased. You know how that goes. She was just a big puppy. To us, she was like one of our dogs or one of our real close pets. What does BDO stand for? Bad odor. Oh, I have no clue. I was going to get a lottery ticket tonight, but chose to hang out in this live instead. Well, thank you. Probably the right choice, huh? If somebody over there at the same store you go to wins, you gonna swear it would have been your ticket. I know. Yeah, it got huge here, and I don't think anybody has won it. That would be nice, guys. I had quite a few people get like so many numbers, or the major Powerball number or whatever. But anyway, Dad gave her an unripe persimmon when I was a kid as a joke. I remember that. My uncle lined all of us kids up and gave us a green persimmon when we were little, and he videotaped us. And I was the only one that didn't make a face, but it wasn't because I wasn't turning inside out was because he was videoing me and he was going to give us $1. I won that dollar, guys. There was 4 or 5 of us youngins, and I was the only one that didn't make much of a face. Bad drink odor. Okay, we'll try to remember that one. Is this a good time for you, by the way, Tamara? 8 o'clock. I know you were saying come at 7, but I was thinking this might be your 7 that you were talking about. I tried at 7 last week and didn't many folks come in. And in case you guys did not know, Southern Pine time out. Yeah, in case y'all didn't know or didn't get in here early enough, I am a great-great-grandmother. My granddaughter had a beautiful little baby boy. He was 7 pounds, 9 ounces, 19 and a half inches long, and she would not let me post a picture, guys. She said that they recommend that you do not post pictures of your babies when they're born because people will steal them. So, they're trying to do everything right. How you do with the first one? And I'm glad. Okay. Yeah, I'm so excited, guys. I've got to hold him twice. Joey's got to hold him twice. Yeah, but he is the prettiest little thing. And maybe when she lightens up a little bit, I'll get to show y'all a picture. But anyway, her sister posted a picture, and one of her friends posted a picture, and they got in trouble. I posted it right after he was born, and she asked me to take it down. You know how it is. I said, fine, didn't bother me. I just thought it was funny. I would totally steal a picture of your grandbaby. I think it was the grandbaby they were afraid somebody would steal, Brent, but you can steal it too. He is beautiful. He would make you one of them good ones, the ones that you put on movies because he's so dang cute. That makes sense. But you can steal the picture if I ever get to post it. Yeah, I'll let you. Let's see, guys. Let's see. What else have we done this week? I ain't done much of nothing because I had done all my plans, and then my buddy got sick, and then we went down to Pedals, and I was at the hospital for hours and hours while my grandbaby was getting born. Her water broke at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't go down there until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because there's not much point in getting there early for the first one usually. And so then I went home about 11 o'clock that night. Still wasn't here, and told my daughter to call me if it made it in the world. She called me back about 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock, and said, she's at a 9.5, almost a 10. You better come. So I got back up, went back up there, and right at 6 o'clock the next morning, she had him. So that's okay. Come home and slept most of the day off and on. Pray none of us have to go into the hospital ever again except for childbirth, maybe. That would be nice, At 4:30, you can tell we aren't night owls, Tamara. Although I used to be. Yeah, I'm the same way. But I don't get up early, guys. Joey is one of them really early. He's up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. 5 usually is about the latest he is about getting up. It goes to bed religiously at 10 or at 9, excuse me. So if we're going to watch a movie during the week, he has to make sure we have to start it before 7:30. And then it can't be but an hour and a half movie. 68, we're praying against childbirth. I know that right. If I get pregnant, boy, I know some few folks are going to get sued. It's going to be immaculate conception. Joey says we've been practicing a lot, but, just nothing's happening. Oh. to stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah, I'm up a lot of night. I'm always up to 11 or 12. Some mornings it's 2 or so before I can actually. Now I may go to bed, but then I'm wiggling so much I get back up to try to keep Joey from keeping him awake, because he's up early. Hey, Rhonda Dotson. Hello, hello. Didn't know you were in here. How are you? Glad to see you. Somebody called 911. Hello and prayers from Eastern Iowa. Our friend Reverend Joe. Normally stay up late unless I'm working doubles. Then I go to bed around 1:30. Well, 1:30, is that 1:30 in the afternoon or 1:30 in the early morning hours? Reverse that. Okay, understand. I understand. Well, I'm up late, but I'm not an early riser unless I just have to. Now I can get up, but I don't like to. I figured I stayed up. I was up at 3 or 2:30 and by 5:30 or 6 every morning for my whole life. I don't have to get up now unless I want to. It's the way I am. Whew, working them doubles. I remember them days, guys. I've worked many of them. Working doubles is rough on your body, on your legs and feet. I done got so old and my legs and feet just ain't got it in me no more to stand. They don't want me to stand up for 8 hours. They sure don't want me to stand up for no 16. Don't get home until midnight and have to get up at 6:15 when I'm working doubles. Whew. That's the way we were. When you worked a double, you worked I worked from 7 a.m. or I was there from 7 a.m. till 11 in the evening. Well, by the time you drive to work and then you drive home and get cleaned up and get in the bed or get something to eat and get in the bed, the most sleep, if you go right to sleep, is about 6 hours. And you pull a few of them doubles in a row, it wears on your body. It really does. Brent says, if you are what you eat, you might be a hot dog. I was a chicken today. Chicken pot pie is what I had. Boy, those doubles are rough, though, guys. Gary, they really are rough. Blessed to stay protected and have angels watching over him. That's the best way to look at it. Never understood my grandfather going to bed when the chickens did, but now you do, except in the winter, and I'm taking care of animals and working outside at daylight. I understand that. Well, back then you got up and went out there and worked in those fields or whatever it was you had to do. Your body was used to no air conditioning. You were more conditioned for the weather and the times and the hard work because you'd been doing it your whole life. Nowadays, people are not conditioned for that kind of life and, things. And especially these people that working on concrete all the day long. I can stand up doing canning and cooking all day and my legs start aching. So I cannot imagine having to work a regular job in a factory on concrete for 12 hours, 16 hours now. It would kill me. And houses were built differently and they were. See what else is going on. Can't handle the heat anymore. Have to do things early. Yeah, that's the way I am. Joey get out there real early in the morning. And he'll sit in the swing until late afternoon. Oh. With the HVAC systems, they don't have to pay attention to things that kept a house cooler. Yep. Back when I was a kid, my grandparents had one fan in one window blowing in. They had another fan blowing out. And so it just kind of kept the air circulating. They didn't have no ceiling fans in the ceiling, you know. Couldn't afford them suckers. They had them big old metal window fans, you know, that really throwed the air, and that sucker would throw some air too through there. Javita is giving me that 5-minute warning, guys. Going to bury a bunch of PVC in the ground and make it cool air conditioning for free. You know, that is a wonderful idea. I've always said if I ever built another house, that it was either going to be underground or I was going to have that, whatever, the 3-inch pipe that's buried underground, plastic pipe that's buried underground, that will bring in its own air. And, you know, I would love to have tree shavings, whatever, when they grind down tree stumps and all, and have it be breaking down with my black roll pipe run all through it to keep my greenhouse warmed in the wintertime as it breaks down too. But you know how that goes, guys. But oh, Jan says good night. Good night, Jan. Thank you. And Tamara is leaving us. We'll see y'all all next week, I hope. Had a wonderful visit tonight. Musgrove is down, 6 foot down, stays a constant 60 degrees. Yes, it does. And you know, 60 degrees, if you've got a 90-degree house, that's going to drop your temperatures at least 15 degrees from what your inside of your house is from just the air coming out of the ground. So that would be, you know, 75. I could live with 75, guys. I don't know about y'all. That's a constant year round. It's going to bring up that heat in wintertime too. You know, so that's a good thing about it. Don't take a whole lot to bring your heat up 10 degrees. It takes a whole lot to bring that heat up 30 or 40 or 50 degrees. You know how that is in the wintertime. But guys, thank you, everybody, for coming in. And before we get out of here, I'm going to tell y'all, like I tell everybody, try to be nice to people because we don't know what they're going through in their lives. We don't know the crazies that are out there this time. People are just, they're on it's a whole different world than what it was back when I was a kid. So let's try to be nice to people. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Evaporative cooler. You know, a lot of the people out in Vegas and all, that's all they have is one of those ones that blow out on their houses out there. And it's very nice too, much easier. But bless y'all all for coming in. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. Maybe we'll see y'all all again next week. So good night to all of y'all, and thank you. Be nice to people. We don't know what they're going through. This world is a crazy world that we are living in, guys. We're going to get on out here a minute or two early so some folks can get going for the next one if they're going to be there. Night, Jerry. Thanks again for sending everybody over. And we're going to probably get out of here a minute or two early, guys. But thanks so much. Appreciate y'all being here. See y'all next week.